inspired holiday hairstyles. I'm working with Dyson on today's video and I'll be showing you how to use the Dyson Corrale Professional Straightener. It's how I got these really fun curls. And then I'll also be demonstrating how to use the Supersonic Professional Blow Dryer. So I'm pretty new to using Dyson products and I wish that I had invested into my career earlier. So if you are looking to buy Dyson products and you have an active cosmetology license, you can call the number on screen. I will also have it linked in the description bar and you can get a discount on your purchase. So if you didn't know, now you know, and I hope you guys enjoy these two hairstyles. They're two of my favorite looks, and let's get into it. I've already done my favorite 60s inspired makeup while letting my hair air dry a little bit, and now I'm detangling with the Dyson designed detangling comb, brushing through my ends, and then I work towards the top of my head, and I always brush my hair before I go into the shower so that this step is a lot easier. And this is the Dyson Supersonic Professional Hair Dryer. You turn it on, you have options for heat as well as how strong you want the airflow to go, a cool button, and I have the gentle hair attachment on, which is one of 5 hair attachments that it comes with. And this one is my favorite because I have very fine hair, a sensitive scalp, so when I've gotten blowouts professionally, I'll often get flakes or a really red scalp. So I take the gentle hair attachment on the lowest heat setting and lowest airflow and then diffuse the hair around my scalp while still quickly drying the hair. I'm making sure to really get around my roots, and this is what I do most frequently. If I have nowhere to go, I'll just blow dry my scalp and then let the rest of my ends continue to air dry. But since we are going to style, I'll show you how I do a quick blow dry for my really long hair. I'm going to divide into 2 sections. The top half I'm going to get out of the way, and let's pick up the Dyson Vented Barrel Brush. And the next attachment is the styling concentrator. So this has a wider, thin design and the air is really focused so you can blow dry each section without the rest of the hair getting blown out all over the place. I pick up my brush in the non-dominant hand and run through, giving it a curve at the ends. And then for the top layer, I'm going to have my hair pushed back into a half up, half down style. So I'm blow drying in that direction backwards. And I'm super impressed with the short dry time. The Supersonic protects against extreme heat damage and it has intelligent heat control that measures the temperature over 48 times a second. And finally, Dyson has a new flyaway attachment, and all these attachments are magnetic. When I blow dry my hair, I can get it really straight, so there's no need for a straightener when I'm going for a sleek look, and this flyaway attachment hides flyaways under longer hair to give it a really smooth, shiny finish with just air. You want to push the airflow in a downward motion and bend inwards, and you can see how sleek that made it in one pass. And these are my favorite 3 attachments, but there is also the diffuser attachment for curly or wavy hair, and then also for very coily hair, there's the wide-tooth comb that helps shape and lengthen the curls as it dries. I'll show you how to do an upgraded version of the perky ponytail tutorial I did about 2 years ago. Instead of all the hair going up into a pony, this is going to be a half up, half down version so you get more volume. But since my hair is really long, it doesn't read as 60s as I wanted it to have my length fully out. So I'm going to demonstrate with some shorter extensions clipped in. This is the same version with my hair left out, and I'm going more for this, so it does work better if you naturally do have medium or shorter length hair. But if you do have really long hair and you want to try out the version I'm showing, you can always use the hack of putting your hair into a very high ponytail, and when I say high, I mean super high, like right at the very top of your head. And then to mimic the half up, half down style, you can clip in extensions right underneath your pony so it lays flat against the head. I'm going to show you how to create ringlet curls, and I love how they turn out with the Dyson Corrale. This is the convenient dock, so I place it on the table in front of me, and then in between styling, I'll place it back so it continues to charge, and I love to use it without a cord. The purple's super cute, and a unique feature is the plates are flexi plates, so they bend slightly around your hair, providing more control with less heat. Taking my first section, I'm wrapping upwards and creating a smooth pass all the way through, and we get a cute little ringlet, and I'm focusing this more on my ends. This is really fun to do, and you can leave it as a ringlet or brush it out if you want it to be more soft and fluffy, but because I'm using the 60s as my inspiration, I think ringlets are really fun. I also went with shorter hair because I couldn't get myself fully in frame doing these curls, and I'm doing this whole section, and then I placed the Corrale back into the dock. Giving my hair a quick spray with hairspray, and let's work with the top pony. If you really want an elevated ponytail, you can also take a mini bun or a mini hairpiece and place it directly behind the elastic and the ponytail. I wouldn't recommend this if you have very, very fine hair or the top pony doesn't have a ton of hair to it, but if you do have enough hair to cover a mini hairpiece, this is a fun little trick to try. The bottom curls I went with curling towards my face, and the top curls I'm curling away. And if you do use any sort of hairpiece, you want to use a couple bobby pins to make sure your hair doesn't move around and show that piece. If you are a fellow stylist, I highly recommend the Corrale. It has the thermal performance of a corded product with the cord-free versatility. Finally, go ahead and add a bow to make it cute and festive. And if you have darker hair, go with pastel or a light shade, it really pops. And if you have blonde or red hair, I think black bows look amazing. I hope you like this look, and now let's do my take on the most iconic 60s updo that looks complicated, but I've broken it into a couple steps and it's so elegant and fun to wear. I just had to try out this style before I moved away from Manhattan, and again I'll be using the Dyson Corrale Professional Straightener. I much prefer to style in sections rather than curl my whole head and set it and then style. First step is to divide a center section from the arches of your brows backwards. Create a bit of a tease and then twist the hair into a poof and pin in place. You want to make sure you use an X with the bobby pins so that this stays. And then the remaining hair left over, we're going to put into a high ponytail once again with a tiny plastic elastic, and this will be looped towards the front portion of the updo. Again, if you don't have a lot of hair to work with for this step, you can add an extension directly under the poof if you need to. Curl using the super cute purple Dyson Corrale, and I'm using the heat setting 365 degrees Fahrenheit here. It has intelligent thermal system that ensures accurate heat. Create a couple curls, and because the front portion of the hair is already styled, make sure that you're holding the section that you're doing before you curl so that it doesn't disrupt what we've already done. And then with our fingers, just loop it forwards and pin in an X. And with more of the length, I'm doing it again on the other side. You can do just 2 loops, 3 loops, depending on your hair, and you can leave it like this in a bun or create some pin curls. So I actually go in the end and create more pin curls, but it's easier to do it in this step. So make sure that you style however you want it to look before moving on to the next steps. Take down the rest of your hair and separate 2 side sections in a diagonal that goes from right in front of the bun we just created downwards to the side of your neck. And here's a very simple French twist, and I am no pro at French twists, so if I can do it, you can do it. Just gather your hair into a pony in the middle/low section of your head and have your fingers looped around the base instead of an elastic. Start to twist the hair upwards, and I have a lot of length, so I was kind of fumbling here. It takes me a couple tries, but once it is tightly twisted, we're not going to tuck the hair back in to make it easier. So hold the hair in place and then take pins and make sure to grab the underside and wedge into the hair that's twisted up. My hair stays with bobby pins, but you might need French twist pins if you have thicker hair. And I'm pinning this top section down and then creating a pin curl with the ends, adding in some detail into that front bun. If you already like the amount of detail you've done, you can just pin it right directly behind the bun in a pin curl. And now all we have to do is finish off the 2 side sections. Depending on your hair thickness, it might be easier for you to add an extension here as well to make sure it's smooth. I always like to mention that because I do have quite fine hair, and I know it can be hard to replicate a lot of looks that you see without sometimes using a little extra help. And I'm going to guide the hair with the Corrale upwards and backwards as it's going to lay up and over to the other side of the style. After heating up the hair, I'm combing up and holding it tightly and creating a pin curl on the other side. Heating up the hair and setting it in the place that you want it to go will really help. First section, we went up and over to the other side of the bun, but this next section is going to lay a little bit back and over and create a pin curl at the top of the French twist. I'm creating more of a curl at the bottom so it's easier to pin curl with the Corrale again, and I'm pinning up top first before creating the loop detail. As you create the pin curl, make sure that you're getting all 4 corners and hiding those bobby pins as best as you can so it stays put. And here I messed around with the front of the bun. Since it was looped forward, I just repositioned the side of that loop so that you can see more of a loop from the side. But again, it's easier to do this step before you've done the rest of the style. There's just a lot more room for error when you try to do it at the end. And as a nod to Audrey, I wanted to bring in some little faux bangs, and hers are so wispy, so I took a tiny amount of hair from old extensions, glued them onto my head, and honestly, I really like how it looked. Yay for baby bangs. And to put my own spin on the style, because my hair is all one shade, I don't have any highlights or anything, I wanted to make the detail for this updo pop. So I added in pearls into the loops, and it really added to this whole style. So let me know which look you like best out of these two 60s inspired holiday hairstyles. And for the pop culture password, comment bows, pearls, and little black dresses. And if you're looking for a 60s makeup look to go with these styles, check out the iconic 60s makeup tutorial on my channel. Or if you're looking for more hair inspiration, I have some heatless fall hairstyles that you might enjoy, and I'll see you in my next video.